Hello, welcome to Melanin and Happy Night Live. I am Lady Abimbola. Welcome to today's blog. Well, as you all know, I'm an activist against the gang stalking program, the racist system, and the abuse of the fundamental human rights. Well, what is gang stalking program? It is a program created solely for the persecution of the non-conformist human to a racist, to a demonic and a satanic system. It is a program launched against those that has refused to be socially controlled, or should I say socially mind controlled. It is a program that started far beyond creation. Satan is totally and completely behind this gang stalking program. Satan is fully in control of this program. And everyone that is part of this program, they're either Satanists, sold out completely and totally to Satan, but they're definitely Satanists. Then we have different grades. We have the gang stalkers that are sold, they're sold to Satan. And we have the perpetrators that has been ordered by the gang stalkers, who are usually in the position of authority, in the position of economical power and legal authorities and any form of authorities you can find in a society. They're infiltrated all over the place. They give orders to these perpetrators, who are the yes sir people. Well, we have different classes of perpetrators also. We have perpetrators that are just meant to obey instruction because it comes from a diabolical authority. Whether it's diabolical or not, it's not of any importance here, because it comes from a form of any kind of authority, and most of the time they're obligated to just respect the order. One. Then the second kind of perpetrators are the perpetrators that are either delinquents, they are destitute, they are ex-convicts, they're criminals, they're sex predators, etc., etc. They have a criminal inclined personality and mentality. This second kind of perpetrators are meant to launch the campaign of shame against the targeted individuals. What is a campaign of shame? The campaign of shame is a campaign launched like a conspiracy thing. It's like a propaganda launched against a person or individual or a group or a nation. The campaign launched the negative lies, concocted, well constructed, well orchestrated lies and credible lies to blackball such an individual from the society. These criminally inclined psychopaths perpetrators are one of the most dangerous perpetrators, because they are the ones that most of the time, if they're ex-convict and a order is given by maybe an authority with economical power or an authority in the legal level, most of the time these perpetrators are obligated to obey, not because they know what they're doing is okay or is right or is acceptable, but for the fact that it's somebody from the position of authority that's ordered them, one, and secondly, they are obligated to obey because probably they are indebted to this authority, and because of that they are actually obligated to actually obey the diabolical instructions given to them. Now, we have series of perpetrators, okay? I cannot go through all of them because you have different types. You have perpetrators, as I said, that also mind control perpetrators. Mind control perpetrators are people that they just draw into the situation through lies, through propaganda, through manipulation, through mind control, through astral projection, or through just bewitchment. Okay, the gang stalking program is no joke. It's not just something that you feel, okay, some bunch of psychopaths are harassing people and persecuting people. That's not what it is. It's demonically backed up. I know most of you usually say the Jews control the world, but you are missing it. The Jews don't control the world. Well, the Jews can actually, claim that title. It's just like there was a blogger, she claims she gets information from reliable sources, and she's attacked a kind of couple recently. I was going through the blog, and the couple actually separated for one particular reason, and she said it's for another reason. And of course, she ran with our information at that particular time, and people was actually thinking, oh, she must really have solid information, solid informant. But at the end of the day, the truth that the couple separated for something totally different from what she's actually claiming. Well, also the perpetrators work in that way, somehow, they launch an attack against people, against individual. They launch a campaign, and they brainwashed, the gang stalkers brainwashed the perpetrators, with lies, with something, and the perpetrators run with such lies, whether it's true or not, because they're totally under severe mind control. They're totally brainwashed, and they're not in the right senses. That's why, as a targeted individual, I decided to open Lady Abimbola Online, also to make clear and known that, you have to be able to identify the fact that there is a diabolical program in place. And not everybody knows what it's all about, okay? That's just the honest truth. But most people that participate in it don't even know what it's all about. So the more as a targeted individual you understand this game, there are people you don't even get offended by, because there are people that are paid to harass you, to persecute you, to bully you, to steal from you, they do nasty things. They put cameras in hotel room, they put videos, they invade Wi-Fi connection, they invade your phone, they clone your phone, they hack your phone. These are a bunch of satanists, psychopaths, that are actually backed up by people in the position of authority. Gang stalking is a crime against humanity and against creation. But it's happening right before our eyes. But the perpetrators, as I said, they have different stages, different functions, but most of them, there are some that are paid perpetrators, there are some that are brainwashed perpetrators, there are perpetrators that are indebted to people in the position of power. If they're ex-convict or they commit a crime, and instead of going to jail, they decide to be a perpetrator. And perpetrator means that you can be assigned to kill somebody, you can be assigned to harass somebody continuously and stalk somebody continuously, or harass or launch defamatory campaign against or slander against the person's character or reputation. They stigmatize people with all kinds of things. They can say you are a child molester, they can say you are a prostitute, they can say you are a criminal, they can say you are a terrorist, they can say you are a spy, they can say anything, because these are a bunch of satanic psychopaths. Okay, and any and everything is expected from their mouth. Now, that is gang stalking. That's not all about gang stalking, but that's part of the explanation I have for you today. If you want to know more about it, you can watch my videos. Unfortunately, this channel, Melanin and Habinoid, it's a new one, just few months now this year, because my main channel that has been 1 year that is bombarded with all kinds of videos was taken off YouTube through a network. When I went to Austria, I came back, my property was stolen, and I believe they were trying to cut off every trace of. So they attacked me through Facebook, they attacked me through Twitter, through Instagram, through my YouTube channel, and even through my website, through melaninandalbino.com. My website was off air for some time. I paid what I'm supposed to pay, but it was off air for months. I didn't know what was happening until I went somewhere else to pay another money, and that was when they reactivated it. It was just off. I mean, we are talking about craziness, crazy situation. We're talking about people that are well infiltrated with their evil. They're in the position of power. They are psychopaths. They are criminals in the position of power, and they must be stopped. They must be stopped by every means, because this is the abuse, total abuse of the human race. This is the total terrorization of the human race. This is the total demoralization of the human race. This should not be tolerated by any means. Do you know most people that you see, they commit suicide, they just jump on the train or whatever. I mean, these are people that push most of them. Not everyone that is targeted that is strong. I will not even consider myself. I consider myself as a tough woman, but we all have limitations to our strength. But I believe my strength has always been from God, not my own. Because the gang stalking program, if you claim you have the strength of your own, you're just kidding. Because there's no how you can live through the gang stalking program without divine intervention. It's not just possible. So I believe and I consider myself to be very, very fortunate, divinely protected and helped, because I've always put my hope in the Lord. And the Bible says they that hope in the Lord will never be ashamed. Now, that's the gang stalking program. Then we have a RESIS system. What is a RESIS system? Most of the time, people ask me, there'll still be a Q&A, but, as I told you, I'm not like right now, I'm in an hotel room. This is a residence I'm staying, right now. And, I just put that flower to just make it, to personalize the whole thing. And, I came to walk around this side, and the gang stalked me. And after gang stalking me, basically where I went to work, they asked me for another week to stay with them. But of course, they harassed me, they invaded it and everything. And at the end of the video I just uploaded recently was what happened. And after all this, whatever they did, I'm still around because I have to, I'm still speaking with lawyers concerning the theft of my property of more than 80,000 euro. All my sweat for 47 years, actually more than that, but it's something they've stolen in bits and pieces. We're talking about, this is a disgusting thing. I try to even control my anger in talking about this. I try to control my anger. And these are the people in the position of authority. These are the people in the position of authority. These are the people ruling, that's supposed to be ruling our lives and making decisions that concerns us. So what decisions can this sort of entity, I don't even want to patronize them by calling them humans. Well, the RESIS system is a system. You see, racism is not hatred like most of you think. I've always said it. It's not hatred from one white to black. When you see a white person misbehaving to a melanin person, when you see an albino misbehaving to a melanin person, that's not racism. That's just foolishness. Okay? Racism already is programmed in their mind to feel superior. And the same racist system is working against the melanin race by mind controlling the melanin race to be auto-destructive. And the system actually is created to make the melanin poor. Now, let me tell you about, because I read a lot and I try to make research as much as possible. Sometimes, recently you can see maybe my videos and my presentation may not be perfect, because I'm really trying so much to give as much as possible with these videos, because I'm actually, you can see I move a lot and I'm not really in a perfect condition, but I still try to give the best I can, okay? Now, the RESIS system was launched, and why it was launched, let me tell you something. After the slave trade, okay, because people tend to say, oh, maybe, we're trying to go back to the past, you're trying to do what do you mean we're trying to go back to the past? Nobody would, you say, I believe the melanin race is the most forgiving race in the whole universe. I believe if you reverse is the case, if the melanin took the albinoid as slavery, we would all be poisoned, we would all be exploded, they would plant bombs and all kind of things in our lives, in our house, in our car. You'll just be seeing people, sky blowing up and all kind of things happening. Because you know you don't do to people what you don't expect them to do to you. But even despite all these past things that people want to make us forget, how can we forget when there's a system against us? I'm not a racist. I'm not somebody controlled by the racist system. I'm not somebody controlled by any negativity or any evil. But how we are stuck. The melanin race is stuck with hunger and with bitterness. And until, because it's not possible that you hinder certain people from progressing while some actually, when it's not, the equation is not balanced, there cannot be peace. So you cannot tell us you torture us for so many years, you took us as slaves for so many years, you torture us, and after slavery, you actually, when the KKK was launched against us, now the racist system is as the result of the KKK. That is the racist system launched against the melanin race. The racist system launched against the melanin race is to keep us in a slave. You see something they call modern day slavery is the racist system. To keep us in a slave-like mentality, atmosphere, environment, everything you do, whether you think you can go to, the more you go to school as a melanin, the more they will harass and attack you. I know I live here in Europe, and the people that is most attacked are the educated melanin. The only educated melanin that is free of all these things, you check around and analyze and try to see the statistics. I'm not lying. I know so many graduates. I'm a professional myself. They are the most attacked melanin because it's a system to actually zero in on the ones that has wisdom, that has education, because education is power. Okay, let me just tell you, I'm jumping the gun now. Let me just tell you how, let me make reference to just one thing, one particular thing. Have you ever heard of Black Wall Street? Black Wall Street, okay? After the slave trade and the slaves were released, and it was not permitted to enslave anybody again, even though they still do it and they call it modern day slavery now. But they don't have chains and whatever, but they still have guns and law enforcement agents intimidating, harassing, and manipulating people's record to criminalize innocent people. But after the Black Wall Street, what happened during the Black Wall Street? You see, the melanin race that was slave were the first millionaires that have ever existed in the surface of the universe. The same melanin race that was a slave was why you say, is she talking about? Yes, because even our history book is a lie. They feed us with lies. It's like a reverse psychology. Have you ever seen melanin and albinoid? Don't get me wrong, albinoid people. I'm not against you, but this is the truth that needs to be told. Obviously, you can see I'm a melanin, and this is something I live also every day. So there's no how we're going to sweep this discussion under the rugs. It has to be settled, it has to be addressed, and it has to be respected until you can find somebody like me and too many other people stop talking about it. When we're living a fair life, a fair and free-willed life, that everybody is free to prosper according to their intellect, according to their profession, according to whatever they have to offer the society. But when you hinder certain people from the society from excelling, then it's not a fair game, and we have every right to fight back. Now, when the melanin that was released during the war and during the slave age, and they begin to work hard, and they're used to working very hard anyway, but now it's not working hard for somebody beating them through a whip or whatever, or with the chains and whatever. They're freely working hard. They are hard workers. They became entrepreneurs. They became so many other things. They own shops, they own restaurants, they own fabrics, they own all kinds of things. But they lack one thing. The only thing that would have been so helpful to them, that the slave owners took from them, it was forbidden for the slaves to read. So therefore, most slaves was not educated, and when they were not enslaved again, they didn't see any importance to education. A big mistake, you will say, but anyway, they were making money, they excelled, they became millionaires, they owned helicopters, they owned aeroplanes, they owned private jets, they owned their mansions, they had beautiful children that went to good schools, they dressed properly. All this, you're saying, you see today all this, rap, whatever. It's part of the racist system. The rap society is part of the racist system. I will get to that. Then, all those things you're saying today, that's not where the melanin is. The melanin were prim and proper people. Like, you can see me, this is where we were in, Yorubas were in Nigeria, where I come from. That's why I decided to wear this today. So, definitely, you said the melanin, with the head tie and everything, is always very decent and elegant. As you can see mine. It's actually with a long skirt, that, you can see, but I cannot bring the video. I don't want to just disrupt the whole thing anyway. But anyway, it's a very beautiful, basically, what happens is that the melanin were so elegant, were so prim and proper, the women were so, they obey their husband. It's not today that you have, rap and you see women working, and it is part of the racist system that has disorganized and miseducated, people that have never had education before. Now, they are now under somebody trying to educate them, but they're not trying to educate you to know something. They are just misinforming you, miseducating you, and destroying your whole brain. Some of us that knows the truth, we are the ones that are being persecuted today. Some of us that our eyes have seen the truth. But as long as you're still fooling yourself and you're investing in the albino society, as long as you're still a slave, you still have a slave-like mentality, you've not gotten it. Now, when they became millionaires and all these things, the albino did what they know how to do best. To fight wars, to kill other people, to oppress other people, to begin to intimidate, terrorize the whole nation and whatever. They went out to fight the First World War. All these wars and rumors of wars, who fights wars? It has always been the albinoid. There has always been the race that ignites wars in Africa, in every continent in the world. It's always albinoid, igniting wars, igniting a kind of terrorism. They are the ones that want to control Africa. They want to control every country in the world. They want to control this president. Why don't you just mind your business and control your life with your children that are unruly, that they call their parents Joseph instead of daddy? I'm sorry, getting a little bit personal and everything, but that's just the truth. So, after this Black Wall Street situation, they went to war, and when they came back, of course, they spent all their money fighting wars. And it happens today. You see the albino society, they want to smoke, they want to drink whatever rubbish they drink, they want to smoke anything they want to smoke. They smoke spray, they smoke anything. They can even smoke the paint on the wall. They want to smoke everything, they want to drink everything. And when their organs are damaged, kidney is damaged, liver is damaged, stomach is damaged, brain is damaged, whatever is damaged, but now they'll begin to harvest the organs of the melanin race. That is the system. It's a system established against the melanin race. And we have to talk about it. We cannot continue to keep quiet and not talk about it and continue to stay redundant and continue to watch as they kill us every day, as they mistreat us every day, as they violate melanin women, they disrespect melanin women, they call us whores when we are not. I know how many times they stigmatize me, calling me a prostitute that I've never prostituted before in my life. I know how many times they try to criminalize me. The law enforcement agent tried to criminalize me just to spoil my record. I don't have any criminal record. This is something that is serious. And the melanin race we're just living life that, okay, leave them with their problem. I know, I'm not trying to ignite war or ignite anything. That's not what, but we need to know that, listen, it's another thing, let me put it this way. It's another thing to have somebody you have a dialogue with, okay? And the person reasons with you. You talk together. You look at what you're doing. I think is not fair at all. I think this is the way we have to go about things. And they dialogue with you, and they want to reason with you. I'm for that. I don't have any problem with that. But when you have people, they've even written something called a white man's Bible. You think the Jews rule the world. The Jesuit rules the world, not the Jews. The Jesuit rules and regulation will tell you what the white man's Bible is all about. There's an instruction for the racist system. It's not just a system that among themselves, okay, let's punish these black people, don't give them work and may frustrate them, may take all the women from the black men and let them be frustrated, keep all the black men in the prison so the white men can sleep around with the stupid black women that allows them to. They didn't just wake up to think like that. There is an instruction book on how to act, how they target and zero in on people. When you're new, I remember when I first came here, before I started I was targeted. It was through an Italian, the first and the last Italian I ever dated in my life. And since then, I don't mess around. Actually, I dated an Austrian later, but later I just felt, no. I would prefer to remain single than to deny a melanin man my love and affection. Instead of me to be with an albinoid man, I would choose a melanin any day, anytime. Because they're trying to take away the melanin women from the melanin men. So the melanin men will stand there, they cannot organize themselves, they don't have a family, there's no woman helping them, because they make them jobless, they frustrate their lives, they throw them in prison, they put them in... You see, every man has something they call values. He wants to provide for his woman and for his family. But the system, the racist system, destroys this from happening. You see, a melanin man now, maybe he talks rudely to the police and everything. They throw him in jail for 6 months. Just because he was rude to the police. And this is the same, you can see an albinoid even pulling the shirt of the uniform of the police and nothing happens. And a judge is going to decide this. This is not hatred, this is a system. Of course, it's a system of hatred, but it's a system for you to understand. It's a system why somebody like me is targeted. If I was really I was an unruly woman, I was not decent, I sleep with everybody I see, I mess up my life, I don't have direction, I'm not educated, I live careless life, I would never ever be targeted, because that's where they want the melanin women. If I was messing around with the melanin men, with the albinoid men, I wouldn't have any problem. I would never be targeted. But I know their game, and I refuse to play their game with them. It's a vicious system. It's a vicious system. I'm willing to respect people that respect me. I'm willing to obey a law that respects human free will. But I refuse to collaborate or cooperate with a system that has been established to destroy my life. I refuse to be part of any satanic structure for the destruction of a particular race. I refuse to subject myself to mental slavery, oppression, and denial of my fundamental human rights. I refuse to be destroyed while I'm filled with talent and potentials. Everyone has a right to express and to practicalize whatever has been deposited in them. While you leave certain people free to exploit, even though they cannot do anything. I'm not trying to shame anybody, but the ones that have a lot to offer, you wage war against them. You create a system to stop them from excelling. The Bible says the wealth of a rich man is a strong wall around him. So therefore, when somebody denies us of economical strength and power, they are the greatest enemy you can ever think of. I have been denied of work as a professional. I did not complain. I still struggle hard. I take care of the old people just to have an income. But even still yet, they still fight me from getting income. Why are they fighting my economics so much? Not just fighting me, stealing my properties. Each time my property is stolen, I have a court case for Campo Tourist. My property is stolen. More than 15,000 worth of things stolen from me. Who is behind it? The person said it was the law enforcement agent that ordered him. I have more than 80,000 worth of property in Milano stolen. The custodian said it was the law enforcement agent that took my properties. In Pescara di Garda, I went there. Somebody I was supposed to collaborate with war. It is the law enforcement agent. Is it not a serious thing? Not everybody can tell lies against the law enforcement, but everybody has been saying, I don't have anything to do with it. It's the law enforcement agent that told me to do this. And each time I have a court case, they try to manipulate, not that they manipulate my lawyers, they try to manipulate justice, they try to do everything to archive the case. Who are the investigators? The investigators, the court investigators, are the law enforcement agent. So just tell me where the situation will end. The same people that have been accused of stealing my properties are the one investigating. It's very funny. There is a system against the melanin race. It's a system of oppression, of destruction, of unfruitfulness, and total blackout to keep us in a constant slave-like environment, mentality, and just to condition us for destruction. If possible, to condition us for self-destruction. And if you see, they hinder me from working. They're stealing my property. They want to make me homeless and destitute. Even in hotel rooms, I was paying 20 euro in one hotel. They asked them to push me out of the hotel, the one I said, Bus Street in Padova. Now I'm staying in an hotel. I just came from wherever. I paid 50 euros there, and now I'm paying just a little bit less than 50 euros. But, because they're trying to exhaust my finances. Look, listen, I'm doing this video because I don't care what happens. But I will continue to tell the truth. There is a system established. I know because I'm vigilant. I'm sober and I'm vigilant. And I'm talking from experience. It's not just what I read. I'm talking from experience, and I read things and it confirms what I think and what I see and what I experience. The racist system is meant to limit the black man, the melanin people. It's meant to make of no value the melanin women and to destroy our protectors, who are the melanin men. The Black Wall Street, after the Albino came back from the war, they chose, after a series of situations, they chose one of us. MLK was their choice. He was educated. It was the line between his people from being strong and to help a so-called enemy. But he decided to help the enemy, whether either in ignorance or he willfully did it, because they gave him a Nobel Prize for whatever he did. It was MLK that convinced the melanin entrepreneurs. Peaceful demonstration. They bite you like the dog. They send dogs after them to bite them. They eat them on the head. They do all kind of things. They dehumanize the melanin race like they're still doing today. Dehumanization. To traumatize the melanin race into continuous oppression, attack, harassment, bullying, terrorizing, and lack of job. They intentionally push melanin people out of work. They deny us of work, and they launch a campaign, we don't want to work. Are you crazy? We don't want to work? You deny us from working, and you claim we don't want to work. You see, it's a system that is well orchestrated. It's just like somebody, they push you into a hole and you break your leg and you say, you see, this person is very clumsy. You see, she has broken her legs. But when you were the one that pushed me into the hole to break my legs, they deny us from work. They deny us from having, and I mean, sometimes they have these gang stalkers all around the place that is watching your movement. I was in the post office today. I was trying to do something. An idiot who is a gang stalker, obviously, came behind me. He doesn't have a number. When you go to the post office, you have a number. He does. I know immediately. I said, please, could you step back? He said, am I uncomfortable? I said, what? I mean, it's even funny to ask me if I'm uncomfortable. I said, please, could you step back? You are too close. He stepped back, and when I turned, he said, step back towards where he was before. Because he's a stalker. And when I was going, I didn't go immediately. I wanted to see what he's up to. I knew immediately. I would have taken his picture and showed you guys. But there are certain things I just let go. You have so many deprived, delinquents, psychopaths, tortured, mentally deranged individuals that have submitted themselves to Satan. To terrorize people, to traumatize people, to defamation of character, to slander one's character, a campaign of shame. This is the racist system. And when MLK convinced the entrepreneurs to renounce all their activities, the Albinoid race was on welfare because they came from war. They had no house any longer because they sold everything they have to go to war. They have no house anymore. They have no job. They are suffering. They were on welfare and eating in a group, whatever, a kitchen. I mean, all living in hostels and things like that, like SOS situation. And they convince your own person to ruin your own opportunity. And they reversed wealth. Then the racist system was activated. Now, you ask me, how was it activated? Now, when they reversed the wealth and the melanin started losing out on their investment, they started converting wealth to the albinoid, and the albinoid started rising, becoming millionaires, thousandaires, millionaires, and even billionaires, while the melanin race was cut short. So the melanin now was destroyed through the strategic plan and program of Martin Luther King, and the melanin race now actually, allegedly, okay, by him, allegedly by Martin Luther King, then the melanin race was now switched over to become the ones in the social system. Then, when the racist system was established, was then to keep them in the social circle. Till today, the highest rate of people in the social system are the melanin race. They do everything to destroy us. You see, when I came here, and I came to work and everything, I went to the Caritas here in Padova. They denied me of any kind of assistance. I didn't go there to eat or whatever. I'm not on that level. But, of course, paying 50 euro every day while I'm job hunting and I'm not really economically buoyant, it's not the best. I went to have a discussion with them. They told them to deny me of any help. Caritas in Padova. They were instructed, and these are even sisters involved. The Catholic sisters. So the gang stalking program, the racist system is not just a system by one person hating you. When you see a white person, an albino hating you, they are not racist. It's a system established against you. And the racist system is to destroy you, to humiliate you. They told me that, okay, if I'm not really working and I cannot pay whatever, if I cannot afford to pay any longer hotel I'm staying or whatever, that, so many people sleep on the street. These are crazy people. That is where they want. I mean, they moved me from a villa. From a villa, they stole my property. They stole my property. They destroyed my life. And they're telling me that I should stay on the street. They tell me I can go and queue and get to eat from the public or whatever, the level of the albinoid race in those days. they are not playing fair. I'm not willing to cooperate with any evil system. And I'll continue to pray on my knees that God Almighty, not just turn things around, will put the Satan in them to shame. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. I live in a villa of 150 meters square here in the province of Padova, San Siro di Baioli, 150 meters square. The Italian law enforcement manipulated my landlord. They wanted them to kick me out of it because they don't want the melanin race to be associated with wealth, to be associated with education, to be associated with prosperity, to be associated with a villa. A single melanin woman, no, it will not happen. Not on their watch. They did everything to frustrate me. Now, they did not just kick me out of the villa I paid for. They manipulated even my, of course, that's a normal thing now. It shouldn't be a new thing that they use melanin against melanin. And now they've stolen, they put a GPS, and they were telling my properties from Baioli di Sopra to Colonia Montese, and the military police, they tried to set me up with theft or whatever. Not that I stole anything, but they tried to just destroy my reputation in Colonia Montese, and the same GPS, they followed me around where the property is till where I kept it at Lorenteggio and Milano, where they now stole it. Anyway, I don't want to get too emotional about this whole thing. I'm a Nigerian citizen. I'm from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My name is Abimbola. I'm not ashamed or afraid of anyone. If anything happens to me, it's by the Italian authorities. They have been persecuting me, they have been harassing me, they have been stealing my properties, they deny me from work, they humiliate me, they slander my character, they lie against me, they stigmatize my character, they influence people against me, they wage war against me, they terrorize me, they molest me, they bully me, they've done all kind of dehumanizing things to me, and they've denied me of every governmental possibilities or privileges I'm supposed to have. They've denied me of every governmental privileges. So if anything happens to me, it's by the Italian authority. I'm saying it in a public place. If they think I'm lying, take me to court and I'll see you in court. If they think I'm lying or I'm manipulating anything, take me to court. I've had enough. I'm a 47-year-old woman. I do not have any criminal record. I have never been involved in any criminal activities in my life. I have never been arrested for any criminal thing in my life. I have never been in prison for anything in my life. I have lived a decent life for 47 years. They have touched and wounded me so long. I've kept my silence. I've tried to obey their word. I've tried not to come against them. Even on the social network, I've tried not to even talk this much. But enough is enough. They want to play it nasty, we'll play it nasty. Well, I would like to close this now because I'm really getting angry and I don't like to speak when I'm hungry. As we're humans, when we're hungry, we begin to say what we're not supposed to say. And I don't want them to have anything to use against me because I'm standing on my truth and I'll continue to stand on my truth. And if they have any problem with my truth, why are they trying to bully me with power? Why are they terrorizing me? The court of law, there is what they call the court of law. You don't need to manipulate any kind of lawyer. You don't need to manipulate my lawyers. You don't need to manipulate the justice system. Let the court take its course. If you know you've not done anything, you should not be afraid of anything. I'm the one that have been taking the military police to court. They have been taking the law enforcement to court, but they have been manipulating and manipulating. So somebody is afraid, but the one at fear is not me. Somebody is afraid, but the one fearful is definitely not me. Well, I would just like to close this now. I talk about the gang stalking program and the racist system which involves me myself. A system established to destroy the melanin race. It should not be accepted. There is what they call anti-racism and prejudice in the European Union. We have it in international conferences and conferences. They are having all over the place. We have the United Nations. We have the European Union. We have the international justice system. But what are they doing about all this racism, the racist system, the prejudice, the harassment of human beings, the killing of melanin people in America, the police shoot them anyhow, they destroy their life anyhow. Half of the melanin men are in prison, and even here in Europe, they criminalize us, they intimidate us, they deny us from work. Most of our men, they are reduced to nothing. The only one that can work is only when you join a secret society or you are married to an albino person. I don't need to be married to an albino person before I have a job. And even if you don't, I know somebody, a chemical engineer, he was married to an albino lady. When they were divorced, she cheated on him. Even though she cheated on him, he wasted almost 20 years of his life, 18 years of his life with this woman. And when they divorced, they kicked him out of work. I don't want to call the name of the company because it's a big company. They kicked him out of work. Now this guy, after so many years, is a graduate. He graduated here in Italy. I think there's rumors that maybe he has AIDS or something now. I don't know. If they injected him with hate, if he was just careless and messing up around the place, I don't know. But this guy is over with him. I mean, the racist system is no joke. When you find police harassing you, the law enforcement agent harassing you, when you find you're being denied of work, when you find you're being limited, it is not somebody just hating you, one person hating you. It's a system that has been established for our destruction. And something must be done against this evil and satanic system. That's all for today. I'm against the gang stalking program. I'm against the racist system. I'm against of the abuse, the general abuse of the fundamental right of the human race. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I'll see you in my next blog. Thank you very much, and God bless. And remember that the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. As I always say, face your fears, elevate your mind, and resist every temptation to panic. I will see you in my next video. Thank you, and God bless you.